Visionaries. Yeah, we on a visionary vibe. Cultivating purpose, solutions, and unity while advancing and increasing your personal growth, development, energy, frequency. Yeah, it's a visionary vibe. You ever considered rites of passage, separation, transition, elevation, and purpose? Do you have a code of ethics, protocol, truth, love, respect? I salute you. Pull up at the house and get what you need. Open house vision. Are you a visionary? Live and direct. What's up, Jackson, Mississippi? Yours truly, Bennie Hitmaker Foster here, and welcome to Visionaries. It's been a long time coming. I'm excited to be back in my hometown, Jackson, Mississippi. After 25 plus years, I'm here now trying to bring about some things and trying to bring some people together, but is it really trying when you're doing it? I am so excited that Open House Vision has made impact already within 45, maybe 50 days. We've been here. We've had a soft launch. We've had a 48-hour ceasefire. We've been on the radio. We've been on TV. And now we have our very own show, Visionaries, where we are discussing, understand what we're discussing now, purpose, solutions, and unity. Now, so many things can fit into that three tier that we're so excited to be here with you guys and share with you. We have a special guest today, two special guests, Brother Amos and Sister Latarsha Ellis, who literally are one of the first people that caught the vision and stepped in, and they have been doing some mighty things. And I believe we have them on the phone right now. Do we have Brother Ellis on the line? Sister Ellis?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hey, man, how y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to Visionaries. I wanted to, first of all, get my feet wet with this show by bringing you guys on and talking to you and getting your perspective of how this has literally changed your life, how maybe you guys already were expecting something, maybe you were not expecting something, maybe there was something on your heart prior to, before meeting me or before Brother Amos heard me literally on the radio. And so I'm just going to kind of like digress and let you guys share how Open House Vision for Jackson, Mississippi has impacted you guys and what you see to come in the next 90 days after we begin to roll some things out.
Well, I'll just say this. You mentioned that, I initially heard you on the air and heard you talking about Open House Vision. Mm-hmm. I have this philosophy. I don't have to be the solution, but if I could be part of the solution, that's good enough.
Yes.
And with the vision that you expressed and shared on the air that day, the things that you expressed lined up so much with the things that we want to do and what we've been trying to do with our actual event center, just allowing it to be not just a revenue generating, machine for us, but a place where we can use to help change the environment, at least that immediate environment where we're physically located. We've always had this mindset that if the facility could be used to make a difference, then, hey, we were going to allow it to be used as such or whatever. And I'm just fortunate and blessed that that my wife, I have her with me to be able to support me, because if anybody think they're going to be able to do anything by themselves, then they're going to, be in for a rude awakening. So to have somebody, not just somebody, but, your significant other, your spouse, to be able to be by your side, that's a blessing in itself. But once we actually connected and we start having conversations and putting things together, everything has just been falling in place. So, again, it's not necessarily about money. We know it takes money to make a lot of things happen, but sometimes just the love that's being expressed or whatever, it supersedes or whatever, because the money comes with the man hours. That the man hours is just as important as those financial contributions and things of that nature.
Awesome.
If you got the money but nobody to actually man the stations, then you're still stuck. So
yeah, man,
it's been a blessing. Short journey so far, but we still excited, and we're looking forward to how much farther we're going to go. Again, we could be part of the solution, then that's great. What you think, T-Baby?
Listen, that was a great segue. I wanted to say.
Look, I don't know what to say behind that.
Listen, I wanted to say you could have cursed them out. You gonna do what? You did what? Because I'm pretty sure that you won next to him when he called me and be like, "Look, man, you can use this center to get started till you find the house that you want to start." And so he had to come back home and have that conversation. Let's talk about that.
Look, you know, I'm gonna say this. One thing that Amos and I have always been on the same page about is how we can come together and help our community.
Awesome.
And just to piggyback on some of the things that he said, you know, there's no I in team. You know,
Correct.
we are all a part of our community.
Correct.
And we all have a part to contribute. You know, like I teach the youth in our ministry class, it's this huge puzzle that has all of these pieces, and some of these pieces have not found each other. You know, Amos found you by listening to the show that night, and when he said it, it was a done deal. You know,
awesome.
I kind of hate I wasn't there at the first meeting because I had other engagements that day, but you know, I support the city of Jackson. I support anyone that we come in contact with that is willing to put forth the effort to make a change. Sometimes it's hard. It's like you know what your purpose is, but it's hard for you to kind of get started because, you know, it takes so many different resources to make the vision, you know, come to light. But I love what you and your wife are doing. I love, you know, the day that 48-hour ceasefire that we were grateful and blessed to just be a part of. You know, it's a movement that's going to continue to grow and get larger because we have people like you and your wife and other people in our community that wants to see Jackson be the best that it can be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you used the word purpose, and this whole show is to cultivate purpose, solutions, and unity. And a lot of times we think about our purpose, right? And we're going to dive right in with what this first show is about. The word visionaries. First of all, that's not a word. You could try to look that word up right now. You could try to type that word, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to have a little red line under it showing you that it's a typo. It's not a typo. Visionary is simply someone with vision, and you can be a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever you want to be a naire if you have vision. But we have to understand the dynamics of vision. So when I drop this off, you guys are going to co-host with me somewhat today as we ride through this thing. When I drop off that vision, first of all, it's for a people, right? And I got notes. I had to get notes because I was kind of nervous today. You know, I usually just talk. But vision serves people, and the mission, people serve. Okay? I'm going to say that again. And the vision, it serves people. That's a whole other group of people. So once you have a vision, it's for a group of people. But inside of the mission, people have to serve. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I think it's a good concept to, you know, to recognize and even try to live by. Because one, a lot of times, and it's sad, and not to highlight any issues, but at the same time, it's a reality. Mm-hmm. I could have heard the vision, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of calling and say, "Hey, brother, I got this place. Let's see what we can do together," I could have heard the vision and say, "You know what? That's a good idea. I'm gonna do the same thing." And then now we got two people trying to do the same thing, and we competing with each other instead of, you know, coming together.
Wow.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's like that. I mean, we see it all the time.
Yes.
Or whatever. When we don't have to compete with each other. We're on the same team.
Yes.
Or whatever. And I mean, you may be playing offense and I may be playing defense, but we're still on the same team.
Yes. Yes. So, and I have encountered some of that. I've encountered some of that to where I'm telling people what I truly feel like God has given me to do. and they go to, just like it's a swapping match of sorts. And I'm like, well, how can we work together? That's my thing. You've heard me say it. You've been around me where I said to people, how can we work together? Because we are one family, one love. We are stronger together. And so now when you understand that your vision is not just for you, but it's for a group of people, but inside of your mission, you have to work with other people. Let's talk a little bit about that. Why do you guys feel like it's so difficult for us to come together and all work when we seem to have the same vision?
It's a combination of things or whatever. I think it goes way back, and it's a lot deeper than what we can discuss on the surface here today. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't warrant being recognized. But mm-hmm. I do think our people historically have, for lack of a better way of expressing it, I'm just going to say we've been conditioned. From the type of TV shows that we watch. And not saying that TV shows are bad, but the fact is there are some TV shows that are not good for us. When we have our own government that put money into programs that does stuff like bring drugs into the community. Why? Mm-hmm. Why? And we have situations in this city, where we've had drugs brought in by even some of our law enforcement personnel or whatever, and things of that nature. I ain't trying to go into all that, but it's just the fact that you got good against evil no matter what the situation is or whatever. But despite any opposition, we just have to find a way to navigate through that and do what we can through the vision, of course, whether it's this vision or somebody else's vision, do what we can to try to make the difference that we want to see. So, I just encourage everybody to just keep on putting the best foot forward. What do you think, T-Baby?
Well, I agree totally, 100% with you. A lot of times, we have visions and we are aware what the mission is. Collectively, we are aware what the mission is. Mm-hmm. But we are so focused on other things that are not a factor. They're a non-factor that causes us to unite, as you talked about earlier, when it comes to unity and understanding what the purpose is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to kind of bring people up to speed, because of things that we've been conditioned about, regarding what Amos just said, referencing what he just said. Some people just don't understand the importance of just their contribution. They feel like, no
matter how big or small.
I'm just no how big, how small it is. They feel like they don't have any relevance with being a part of a movement that's going to improve our community as a whole.
Yes, and impact.
So that allows them an impact, right?
Yes.
Think about this. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Tosh. Think about this.
You have like 90 seconds before commercial, but go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Think about this. You got a football team. Probably one of the least thought about person on the team until it's time to kick a field goal is the kicker. Is the punter or the kicker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. But if the 3-point field goal wins the game, then he becomes almost the MVP of the game.
He celebrated. Yeah, but he has to prepare. And he has to be ready.
Exactly.
And so who's out there that has been preparing? Because everything that I'm doing now with Open House Jackson is the sum total of my life, it seems. I can go all the way back to middle school, experiences, situations, things that happen to me, good, bad, and ugly. I call them bugs, bad, ugly, and good, because they're meant to be beneath your foot. You can't let them loom over you like a mountain. And so this show is meant to be inspirational. It's meant to be educational, motivational, but it's also meant to be practical. And I want you guys to understand that if you're out there and you're watching this, you too have a part. You too can help and assist. And even if it's not monetary. It could be simple things that you give. So before we go to commercial, I want you to understand and I want you to believe in yourself right now. That's what Visionaries is about. Every Monday at 11 a.m. we'll be coming to you. So you need to understand that today's show is sponsored by earthblendcoffee.global. You can use the link in the description box to place your order now, and we'll be right back in a few minutes. Thank you guys for watching, man. Salute. See you back in a second.
Footprint Farms is a beautiful 68-acre vegetable and cattle farm located in Jackson, Mississippi, and is Mississippi's largest urban farm. The mission of Footprint Farms is to provide the community access to healthy food choices, introduce our youth to agriculture, and provide training and technical assistance to small farmers and ranchers. The farm is open to the public every Friday from 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. to purchase fresh produce or visit us at the Mississippi Farmers Market located near the fairgrounds in February. We accept all forms of payment, including EBT and SNAP benefits. Looking for a beautiful venue for your next wedding, family reunion, or dinner? Footprint Farms offers a 3,000 square foot facility on 5 beautiful acres, perfect for your next event. For more information, visit our website at footprintfarms.com, Facebook and Instagram at Footprint Farms, or call us at 601-910-5534. Footprint Farms, farm fresh, city sweet.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
Welcome back. You're tapped and tuned in to Visionaries with yours truly, Bennie Hitmaker Foster. I salute the lovely Lisa Foster, my wife, and all of the great support that she's offered. We got brother Amos and Latarsha Ellis on the line. Are y'all ready to continue on this visionary vibe?
Yes, we are.
All right. So here's something. I'm going to give you guys a shameless plug here. The Charity Activity and Event Center. When you heard Bennie Foster on the radio, and you had never seen me before a day in your life, probably never heard of my name, and you committed to a vision, as I keep explaining to everyone that I can come in contact with, the vision serves a people. But within the vision, there's a mission statement, there's goals and objectives. And we'll get to the goals and objectives and how they play, because a lot of people don't understand how a vision works. They have a dream and they run around telling people about the dream, but they have nothing in place. They don't have the mission in place and they don't have the goals and objectives in place. And they are very important to the sustaining, maintaining, and increasing that which is a vision. And if you wondered, I'm teaching already, okay? So understand that a vision, a mission, and then you have goals and objectives, right? And so the mission now called upon the Ellises to be a part of Open House Vision. But they have Charity Activity and Event Center, 195 Raymond Road, Jackson, Mississippi, one of the hottest event centers in the city of Jackson. Now, they had no idea that Bennie Hitmaker Foster would end up with the Visionaries show. They had no idea that Bennie Hitmaker Foster has a multimedia background to where he's going to be putting together promotional commercials with music and video and pictures to promote their business on the other side of them offering to open up their facility for me. Now, that's how a mission works, because the vision is for one group of people, but within inside the mission, you have to work, protect, serve. You have to now undergird each other and further each other's mission, that their vision may come to pass. They have a vision with the Charity Activity and Event Center. I have a vision with Open House Jackson, Open House Vision. And so now we come together. So in that, they haven't asked me to do any of the things that I said that I'm going to do. And neither did I ask them to offer me their center. And so this is how that works together. So imagine now 20 more people doing that inside of a mission, which causes now all 20 people's vision to come to pass. Guys, chime in on that for me.
Well, one thing in my opinion that you kind of describe is something that is referred to as a cooperative.
Yes.
And when you got different entities coming together and working together, it doesn't mean that I neglect the purpose, of my, objectives and my business ventures or whatever. But in the process of doing so, if I can do something that's going to aid and assist or complement you, without hurting myself, then why not render that aid and assistance? And that's what, we've done. And like even when we had the news interview, I told you before the interview, and you explained to me what your reason for doing it was, but I said, look, this is not about charity. I don't even want to mention charity. Just do what we're doing as far as the open house vision or whatever. Because that's how serious I was about the actual mission of the open house vision or whatever. So, I appreciate everything that you just said, or whatever. And I know you meant it, but I know that I mean what I say as well.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Man, it is powerful to meet new faces, even as I mentioned earlier, Lisa and I, who literally have to deal with that I'm being called to a whole nother state. We so used to working together for almost 7 years that was really something that we had to pray about, something we had to literally communicate through, and something that even with her visits here, she's just blown away with the support of people like you guys, like Miss Potts, who's on the line now. Salute you, Miss Potts. Like Amos, your sister Stephanie, I salute them. I salute all the people, my sisters, my mom, everybody that is so in tune with what's going on. Even bumping into some people, like some things I did prior to the mid 90s, some things I was doing, even some events, and I've been able to just bump into some people like over at the Elks Lodge. And we'll be doing some things there for just the community, and for high schools and for colleges and different things of that nature. It's just so phenomenal how literally the support has been overwhelming, but yet the support has been rejectful at some times. And what do I mean by rejectful? Understand that rejection is a form of protection when you really feel like that you have a higher calling. It's called the high calling. And I'll never forget when Michelle Obama said, where they go low, we go high. And you got to understand that when we talk about energy, frequency, vibration, we talk about going high. That is somewhat like a remnant of heaven. And we can have heaven and earth. And I'm starting to experience heaven and earth by meeting such great people like you guys. It's like infectious. And I just wanted to ask you guys, how has the energy been at the events that we've done? How has the energy been while we're having conversations? I want to make sure I'm not delusional. I want to share with people that on the other side of your fear, on the other side of you not going forth in your vision, is this euphoria. It's this aphrodisiac of sorts that it literally takes you on a high. And I just want to make sure I'm not delusional. I want you guys to tap and tune in on that concept.
See, baby, you want to start? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the energy has been amazing. And
yes.
When Amos was just answering the last question, the first thing that I thought about is the scripture where God stated, I think it's in Jeremiah, where he said that he knows the plans that he has for us.
That's good.
To make us prosperous. And
that's perfect.
One thing that I take into consideration with that, if God he knows the plans he has for us, that means he's going to line us up with the people that we're supposed to be in the path of.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes here and there we may not, we may even end up with people who may not have the same values and the same goals as we have, but it's a reason why they are in our midst.
That's right.
Still,
That's
we can
right.
still learn from that.
That's right.
So the energy from you and your wife and your families, even our friends, have been simply amazing because we are all on that same vibration, and we are expecting the same outcome.
Yes.
So with us all being on the same wavelength, you know what, God is gonna manifest all this.
Yes.
He's gonna manifest it to be exactly what He wants it to be.
Well,
and He knows that He's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited as usual. Go ahead.
excited too because when you see something coming into what's the word I'm looking for?
Existence, manifesting.
That's manifesting.
Yes.
Manifesting.
Yes.
You know, it's a humbling experience.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it's powerful, right? And you know the beautiful part about it is that you see everybody smiling. You know, that's rare during a pandemic. Go ahead, Amos.
One thing I was going to say, like, at the last event, one of the brothers was grilling outside, and I'm just noticing people, you know, people interacting with each other. And like you said, everybody's smiling. One thing that I've noticed, and it's just my opinion, I guess, but no, I don't think anybody has been made to feel like there's big I's and little U's. Everybody realizes that they actually have a voice.
Yes.
And their voice can be heard.
And it's important.
We're not competing with each other. It ain't, well, it's got to be this way, it's going to be that way. And whichever way it ends up, the voices are being heard regardless. So a lot of times people in situations like these where the intentions are good, but nobody wants to hear somebody else's thoughts, views, or opinions about a matter. So the fact that we're able to be in one place and actually hear each other out or whatever and weigh the pros and cons or whatever the case take, okay, well, that'll work, but this won't work, or whatever. However it comes together or unfolds, I just think it's great just being able to be in a space where, like, the people realize, okay, well, hey, we on the same team. At the end of the day, we are on the same team.
Awesome.
We trying to go in the same direction.
One family, stronger together.
Stronger together.
Man, that is not just a catchphrase. That is so true, and I feel that strength and I feel that joy when we say it. And so as we talked about vision and mission, before we go into the commercial and then going into our third segment, I want to talk about goals. Goals are your milestones that you are to reach within that mission and vision. And then your objectives is how you reach those milestones. And so I did not understand this until Open House Vision. I used to think that a vision and a mission was redundant. And that's why the scripture that says out of all that you get understanding is so powerful.
Yeah.
You know, because you would be utilizing something and just doing something because someone told you to do it. But if you don't understand why you're doing it sometimes, you do it with somewhat of a lukewarm spirit. And now because I understand the dynamics and the mechanics, like I have to speak to a high school basketball team today. Shout out Darren Chancellor, Florence High School boys basketball team. They're doing a great job. That's my teammate. We actually played together back in '87. We went to the state championship here in Jackson, Mississippi. He's doing a wonderful job. I'm being reconnected with so many people. I salute him. I also salute Mark Thorne, Jackson State's track and field coach. We ran track together. We won the SWAC championship in 1990. You know, and so just being able to reconnect with these people and be able to pour into those young people is important. And that's now some of the things that I have inside of my goals and objectives, which tie into the mission, which will feed the vision. And so, guys, I know that you guys have some different things that you do outside of Charity Activity and Event Center. Real quick, how has it been as far as balancing out now this whole open house vision opportunity that you guys are partnering with? How has it been? You got about a minute and 20 seconds to talk about that right quick.
Well, I'll say this, and not to just talk too much about some of the things that we're doing, but
no, the balance.
we have
balance it all.
Well, it's not difficult at all because I'll put it this way: well, one of the things that we do, one of the sponsors that we have, I didn't ask them for more. They asked me, "Why don't you do more?" And I expressed, "Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing already, so I don't want to be greedy." They said, "Well, no, it's no problem. We would love to do more."
Wow.
So now, you know, just the fact that we're doing what we're doing, and they see what we're doing, and they see Well, we can't get out there and do it, but we're glad that you're doing it, so we're going to support you even more.
So they're actually operating their vision through you by partnering with you in the mission of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So their vision was to do it, but they don't have the
puzzle.
time. That's part of the formula for success.
Yes, and those are those other little small pieces. They are small, but they're huge, significant pieces to the puzzle. Again, it goes back to there's no I in team.
No I in team.
There's no I in team. When there is a vision and people are on the same vibration, we're going to get the response that we're supposed to get.
And
we're
I love
going to get the help that we're supposed to get.
And I love it.
And I love it too. And balancing the activity center and my job. I mean, to me, it's just something that we're doing what we love to do.
Come on. I was waiting on that. I was waiting on that answer.
We love what we do, and it's period. As the young people say, period.
So listen, guys, listen. When we come back to the next segment, we're going to talk about the education system and some solutions that we can offer toward the education system. But right about now, I need to let everyone know that today's show is sponsored by EarthBlendCoffee.global. You can use the link in the description box to place your order now, and we'll be right back with the Ellises on the line. We'll be talking about our education system. You're tapped and tuned in to Visionaries, and this is a Visionary Vibe. I salute you.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com. SGECOVIDSolutions.com is paving the way forward for a safer city government delivering cutting-edge biosecurity and biosafety protocols developed internationally by top virologists and scientists using an all-natural cleaning solution, killing COVID-19 on contact like no other product on the international market. For more information, please call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at SGECOVIDSolutions.com. Let SGECOVIDSolutions.com provide innovative rapid facilities testing and world-class state-of-the-art biorisk safety protocols for all of your coronavirus needs. Call 1-800-281-9080 or visit us online at sgecovidsolutions.com.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
Hello, world. You're tapped and tuned into Visionaries with Bennie Hitmaker Foster. Open House Vision is the topic of discussion, and today I have some people that have literally poured their heart out and jumped in, got in where they fit in, and we've been talking about vision, mission, goals and objectives in the first couple of segments of the show, but we're about to switch gears now and go to another aspect of life that is very important. When I first came on to the show, shout out Tanya G with Straight Talk, her and Dr. Scott, I appreciate them bringing me on, Brenda Scott, I believe, bringing me on for that show. It really opened up the eyes and ears of some people in Jackson, Mississippi, that there is a solution to the crime, violence, and killing here in the city, and that's what Open House Vision is about. We have what we call the diamond life perspective, and if you think about a baseball diamond, and I'm illustrating it with my fingers, your thumb is home plate, right about here is first plate, second plate here, and third plate, and you have home, you have school, you have workforce, and you have community. And that diamond life perspective is very intricate in the lives of each one of us. Everything starts at home. And so that's why we're looking for a house now here in the city of Jackson, Mississippi, centrally located because of territorial issues that the young people deal with. So the house in a central area is very important. That's why we don't have the house about 6 weeks in. But we do have event facility, charity activity event center that's been donated. The Elks Lodge. We have 100 acres of land in Utica, and we have more acres of land in Utica for camping, fishing, horseback riding, taking the kids out, changing what we call the 3 E's, your environment, your experience, and your exposure. So now when we think about education, we have to change the education system to where it's now more learning to earn. See, a lot of us go through the motions in school, not really knowing what we want to do. And we kind of shunned away, or we limited to doing what we really love, even at an early age, 16, 17, 18 years old. So when we think about the education system that we now model here in the United States, it was taken from a model in Prussia. Master's degree, education. I learned this in school. I'm sharing it with you. And so you got to understand that that whole concept was designed that by middle school, individuals that were in school, they could decide on whether that child better fit politics, better fit science, better fit trade, skill, whether they should be an intern, whether they should have an apprenticeship here or whatever or whatnot. And because we now tacked on 4 years, some children in high school actually want to do something else, but we're telling them just finish high school. I literally experienced a young man right before we graduated. I'm talking about right before we walked out, right before he got this piece of paper that he was fighting so hard for, that mom and dad was saying, at least graduate. He was like, I don't know what to do. He told me, I don't know what to do, Mr. Foster. They was like, at least graduate. And this young man began to cry right before they walked out. I said, you did? Are you happy? He said, yeah. He said, but I don't know what I'm going to do next. And it's because he was not taught how to learn and earn together. I got this acronym called LET, Learn, Earn, Together. And this is a concept that will be in place with Open House Vision here in Jackson, Mississippi, where we would teach them skills, trades, home ec, shop, auto mechanics, painting, lawn care, different skills that they can literally take their hands, do something that they love, and create revenue for their family. So guys, when I say this to you, and we got Brother Amos and Sister Latarsha on the line, when I say this to you, how can schools begin to do more toward credentialing people while they're learning with simulations, with different trainings? And the biggest example I can give you is a school teacher who may go and do their student teaching, and it kind of gets their feet wet, but it doesn't full-fledged prepare them for that teaching arena. Because inside of that teaching arena, you have to deal with administrators, you have to deal with parents, you have to deal with teachers, you have to deal with students that may not be following the rules. You got to deal with different things that I call just life events that happen in the middle of school. If you're dealing with pre-K, you're dealing with younger kids, you may have a young kid that wet themselves, you may have a young kid that's sick, and you got to tend to that kid, but you also have to maintain your classroom. So guys, what are some ideas that you can share on this topic about how we can better prepare our school districts, or should we just say, let's pull the plug and begin to create our own schools? I definitely would like to hear you guys' feedback on that.
What you think, Tosh?
I was trying to figure out where do you start. I'm going to start here, and I'm not going to take a whole lot of time with sharing this story. But I remember when I went to get my student training to be a cosmetology instructor in 2017. Mm-hmm. And for the first, I think it was the first 30 days or 90 days or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, 120 days, I was observing. It was an observation period. Mm-hmm. So I remember the educator I had that I started with. She was amazing. I loved her style and everything, and how she connected with the students. And I remember when she gave me my first assignment, and I think I probably called her crying when she told me when I had to present to the class. And she said, Miss Ellis, she said, you're going to do just fine. She said, be yourself. She said, she just gave me these different rules to follow, mm-hmm. so that the students will remain their respect for me. She said, mm-hmm. you're not their friends. You're there to educate them and teach them. Mm-hmm. And I'm sharing that because when you're an educator and you're in the classroom, we're our children's first teachers. A lot of things our children don't learn from home, and the parents send them to school with the full responsibility on the educator.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that's unfair. I think that that we should be a little bit more proactive, when it comes to our children's education and some of the I lost my train of thought just that fast.
Some of the things, courses, like you said something, and I'm going to interject real quick. We're going to pause for the cause, right? I'm going to interject. Should a child be sent to school that does not know how to tie their shoe? Should it be a teacher's responsibility to daily try to teach a young person how to tie their shoe? I mean, even if the parents can't figure it out, do you think it should be somebody in that tribe, in that community, in that family that can take time out and show that young person how to tie their shoe instead of the teacher having to add that to their list of things that they have to do?
But we do it, though.
Yeah, we do it, but I'm asking you, should we have to do it? It's chiming in with what you said about a lot of things. Sometimes the teacher got to teach the child some things that should have been taught at home. That's what I was picking back off of when I mentioned that. And I just want you guys' feedback. I mean, should we have to do that as a teacher?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I'm gonna say yes and no.
That's because you're a teacher at heart.
I'm a teacher at heart.
There you go.
I'm an educator. Educator. So when you see a student in need of something, like, we're not going to disregard it.
No.
Like, when I was teaching, there were students that came to school that didn't have gas money to get back and forth to school. So guess what I did? I helped them to get to school. I gave them gas money that would get them back to school for the week. Students, we deal with different levels of things and situations that a lot of these kids come into our classrooms with.
Socioeconomic setbacks.
That's it. And we have to address it. Whether we want to or not, it definitely shows our level of concern, for our seeds, as you refer them to, because that's what they are. They are our children. Okay,
I'm jumping in again.
Okay, go ahead.
Can a child learn hungry? Can a child concentrate and learn and listen to you at the board or reading in the book? Can a child learn hungry?
I would say no.
You say no. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And everybody have their different opinions or whatever, and that's fine. And you say no. I'm curious I want to hear your reason why you say no before I respond to that.
Well, I say no only because, when you hadn't had food, children come to school every day. They go to school every day when they're hungry or hadn't eaten anything, So I feel like that contributes to how they react in the classroom.
And I'm going to say no too, Brother Amos. Brother Amos, I'm going to say no too for the same reason she's saying it, because it's hard for them to concentrate. Go ahead, Latarsha. It's hard for them to concentrate.
And, and can I just share another story? I was subbing, and I'm going to let you go ahead and finish, Amos. But I was subbing one day. I fell for a whole week in Hines County School District at one of their elementary schools, and I was in the kindergarten class. Mm-hmm. And there was this little girl that came to school, beautiful little girl. Mm-hmm. But she came to school one day, and she was so emotional. These are like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And she was just crying uncontrollably.
Yes.
And I thought maybe someone had done something to her. Mm-hmm. And I gathered the class. I called my friends and said, okay, guys, I need y'all to come sit on the floor. I'm going to take so-and-so out to see what's wrong with her. Mm. And what they told us, when you sub, you can't have no contact. You can't touch the students. You can't do nothing. You can just try to console them from a distance. But some of these babies need to be held. They need to know that someone cares for them.
Emotional support.
I didn't touch the little girl.
Emotional support. Yes.
But I asked her, I pulled her to the side, and I asked her what was wrong. Mm-hmm. And she said she didn't even know what was wrong with her. Mm. She was just crying. Mm. But, I asked her, was she hungry? Did someone do something to her? And And she said no, but whatever it was that had her feeling the way she did, those are some of the things that we don't know what's going on internally with these children.
We don't.
I know you spoke on, was speaking about can they learn when they are hungry, but I would say no, because that it's a distraction for them.
I can say it's difficult.
That's something that distracts them.
I can say it's difficult to learn. Brother Amos.
Okay. I'm glad you in a sense kind of retracted. Because and here's the reason why you guys said no, but here's the reason why I would say yes.
Okay.
I've been that kid that y'all are talking about. The same kid y'all just described, I was that kid. I went to school hungry. Did it stop me from learning? No. You know what I used? What I thought at the time was common sense. Go in the classroom, do what you got to do until it's time to eat, because you're going to eat eventually. Eat, and then carry on the rest of the day.
But what about the child that you're not you now? You have to always put yourself in another person's shoes. This is the rules of engagement when you're communicating and when you're dealing with 25 kids in a classroom. All of those kids are not the same. You can't have a cookie-cutter approach.
Exactly. But what was the question?
The question was, can children learn hungry?
They can. It's not necessarily the best condition, and we know it's not the best condition.
Some can, some can't, Brother Amos. We're going to agree to disagree on that one, because some can and some can't, because like that emotional thing that Sister Latarsha talked about, man, I had one that was first grade that you would have thought she was having a nervous breakdown because of the ITBS test. And I'm going to quickly say, none of us have seen any of those questions or answers from the ITBS test that schools right now are revving up to make sure that they pass. That's all they're teaching the kids right now for that test, to make sure that they have good scores. And that's not good.
Is that something like what they, back in the day, we had?
Our test of basic skills. California, all that's the same thing. And people lobby for what the school district is going to use this year to gauge whether their students are going to be productive citizens or not. But how can you gauge a child on whether they're going to be smart in society or make it in the world to where the questions and the things that you're answering don't even pertain to real life? So we have to change the way we approach education. You got about 30 seconds, brother.
I agree with that.
You got about 30 seconds.
Well, I agree with that. And one thing I'll say is the educators, they have to use common sense. And common sense is using sound judgment in practical matters. Practical matter with that situation Tosh described was a child was, crying profusely, didn't know what. And common sense for her was to find out what was wrong and do something about it. Or whatever. The school had its rules or whatever, but if the rules, and if we do the same thing and expecting something positive to happen in that.
Brother Amos, we got to go to commercial. Today's show is sponsored by Earthblend, Coffee.Global. You can use the link in the description box to place your order now. We'll be right back, and salute all of the teachers, administration, and principals out there. We love you and we support you in all that you do.
Advertise on WeBelieve.Global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.Global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
You're tapped and tuned in to Visionaries. That's right, where we're discussing purpose, solutions, and unity. Is yours truly, Bennie Hitmaker Foster here, and my special guests on the line, Amos and Latarsha Ellis. I am so excited that we are engaging in this courageous conversation about education in our last segment. Before that, the beginning of the show, we talked about vision, mission, objectives, and goals. And what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about cause and effect. We want to make sure that you understand that you cannot continue to go through life waiting on life to impact you. It's time for you to make an impact on life. How do you do that? You look at the things we just discussed. Vision, mission, objectives, goals. Do you have a vision? The vision can be defined as your purpose for being here. Everything that you're doing, everything that you've done, the things you thought about, some things you put on the back burner of your mind, understand that our minds is like a computer, and what we input is what we will output one day. And so what are you inputting? Social multimedia does determine what type of spirit we walk around in every day. Are you walking in a spirit of fear? Or are you walking in a spirit of love? And, I know a great biblical principle that says perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love throws out fear. Perfect love is like a bouncer. It's time for you to go. It casts out fear. It throws fear away from you. So are you operating out of love? If you have not discovered what you love doing, maybe you need to change your 3 E's: your environment, your experience, and your exposure. So, brothers and Sister Amos, before I make this statement, Ellis, before I make this statement, I want to say to you guys, I greatly appreciate you guys being on the show. I know you're taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this, but I thought it would be great and befitting that one of the most major aspects of what has been contributed to Open House Vision, that I think it would be great to interview you guys. And I definitely know that we will get Lisa Foster on the line, my wife, in the near future. Hopefully get her here in person, because she's extremely busy as well with handling some of the things that I kind of sort of stepped away from to answer the call for Open House Vision. So it's great to have a partner who does understand and does believe in the God in you and not just in you. That the God in you will say is something greater, and that you have to answer that call. So I salute you, Miss Lisa Foster. I love you. I thank you for supporting everything that I do. And so I want you guys now to dive into this. Why is it that most people in life are waiting for life to impact them? Like they're waiting on the sky to fall. Like they're waiting on something else to happen. Like they say things like, I don't have good luck. Why is it that we can't now begin to feed our faith and be prepared to answer the call? Like someone said to me earlier, put on our Superman capes and go out and do what needs to be done. Because is it hard to serve God? Is it hard to love your neighbor? Is it hard to love yourself enough to know that this is how God says we will show him love, by loving one another? And when we say one family, stronger together, that deficit or that void is there because some people are waiting on life to impact them instead of preparing to impact life. So what does that statement mean to you guys? What do you guys hear when I say that?
All right, I think about this. We have been conditioned, and we are continuing.
Say it again, brother. Say it again.
I'm going to give you the first part.
Say it again. Now, you got to say it again. That's important, what you just said. That's exactly what would have been mine. Say it again. We have been what?
We have been conditioned, and
trained.
We are continuing to be conditioned.
We trained to do what?
And that's it. Yeah. To be reactive.
Come on.
Not necessarily initiate the effort, but respond to a cause or effect. But check this out. I'm going to start a statement, and you're probably going to be able to finish the statement.
Okay.
And this is what conditioning does.
Okay.
Here's the first part of the statement. The best part of waking up
is Folgers in your cup.
The biggest lie ever told. The best part of waking up is being able to say, Lord, thank you for another day.
It is.
But if we're constantly hearing
the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Let me tell you another. I remember in the sixth grade, I was in a spelling bee. The word was release. The young lady spelled ROLAIDS, release. The whole audience started laughing. This is a young lady looking around like, what's wrong? That commercial had affected that young lady to the point where when they asked her to spell release, she ended up spelling Rolaids. But a lot of times we don't realize how serious these commercials and the conditioning is. We don't realize it. We just see even some of the music we listen to. We just see it as entertainment but we don't realize the long-term effect that it actually have on us.
Correct. And that's why we react a certain way to the impact.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we react a certain way to the impact. Because we've been conditioned. As you say, we've been trained to react that way. Sister Tasha, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to have to disagree to a certain degree. On what both of you all
Oh, here
said.
we go.
And this is the reason why now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Bible says what? Study to show yourself approved.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that some things we're being impacted by conditioning and all this other systematic stuff, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a choice not to be. You know, when you talked about earlier about having understanding, when you understand that we have been conditioned and programmed to be how we are, we also have the ability to not be programmed. We can deprogram ourselves.
Come on.
Yeah, it won't
Come
be
on now.
easy, but it's doable.
It's
can be
doable.
done.
It's doable.
I agree.
It
I
can
agree.
be done.
I agree, but you know what,
we
babe?
cannot. Let me just say this, babe. But we cannot, use that excuse that we've been conditioned. That's not going to always cut it.
Right.
You
But babe,
know.
by me saying that is not to say I'm using it as an excuse. It's just acknowledging the fact that is an issue, and it has been an issue for a long time. When you said the Bible says study to show thyself approved, see, they're not teaching that in school. They don't go to school to learn the Bible. They go to school and they're taught study so you can pass this test. They don't tell people what they're going to do. Brother Bennie just said earlier how the young man graduated, getting ready to get that piece of paper. Probably should have been the most proudest day at that time in his life, but he's getting ready to walked across the stage, but then he's having this feeling of, well, what next? I don't know what to do.
Right.
Had no idea what to do. And listen, so this is, we got about 5 minutes left with the show, guys. And I'm going to say this statement. I definitely want you guys to chime in real quickly, and I want to close out with a statement, okay? A lot of people have not somewhat planned for their future because they don't believe that they have a future. And I'm addressing the young men and young women in the city of Jackson, Mississippi now that are living like they're living in the Wild Wild West. You have a future. You have a future. So, brother and sister Ellis, I want you to briefly share with me, did you have any idea that you would be doing what you're doing now at the age of 16?
No, I can answer me. I know I felt like I had aspirations and I knew that I wanted to do something big, but on the scale of where I am now, no, I didn't.
Brother Amos.
Same here. I had no idea. I didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to have an event center or, nothing like that. I think with cards I've been dealt, things I've experienced in life has prepared me for such a time as this. Kind of like how you said, everything that you've experienced up until now that brought you back here has prepared you for this time.
Yes.
And I admonish you and anybody and many others, hey, if you know and realize that, then, just act on it. Don't feel like, you don't necessarily have to have it all together.
You don't.
But
you don't.
You take that first step. And things, and trust, trust God, not to sound preachy, but, we claim to be a people of faith, but we know if we are, we know nothing else. I think we at least know that the book does say faith without works, it's dead. So,
we got to begin.
I encourage people to, right. And I encourage people just step out there. And if you feel like you can make a difference, guess what? You can. If you feel like you can't, guess what? You won't.
Either way it go, you're right. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. Either way it go, you're absolutely, positively correct. You are by what you think. So, brother and sister Amos, I want to thank you, Ellis. Brother Amos and Latarsha Ellis. I'd like to thank you guys for being on the show. This is our very first show. Those of you that are watching, make sure you tap and tune in every Monday at 11 a.m. We're going to start this week off right. You know, Sunday is the first day of the week officially, but Monday is the first day of the work week. And so we want to make sure that we start it off right. How we start off our week will be how we end our week. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I get out of here, I'm going to share this nugget with you. I'm going to try to share a nugget at the end of each show. When you understand that moving toward your goal, moving toward your dream, that things will begin to be attracted to you as you move toward it. If you stay where you are with the same mindset and you don't paradigm shift and believe that you truly who you've seen in your mind, seen in your vision, if you hold the image of that manifested thing that you want that you want to manifest, if you can just keep that image and vision in your mind and in your head, if you change the things you look at, the things you look at will change. You will eventually hold that thing in your hands. You will eventually see it manifest and materialize that which was in your mind. Everything around us, this studio, this microphone, this camera, Facebook, everything that we are now currently utilizing started off in somebody's mind. What mind power do you have that can unite the world like Facebook does? What mind power do you have that can show a vision like this camera? What mind power do you have that can create the next logistical strategy for travel and transport and delivery? What is it that you're sitting on that could be literally the chain breaker for you and your family to take you into another level and provide a legacy, a heritage, an inheritance for you and your family? I am here. I am here to remove the psychological chains. It's yours truly, Bennie Hitmaker Foster. It's worldwide, baby. Visionaries on We Believe Global every Monday at 11 a.m. You can tap and tune in and catch this visionary vibe. If you don't know what a visionary is, just keep watching. But listen, and don't listen to reply. Listen to comprehend and watch how your plane begin to take off. All right? So before we get out of here, I need for you to understand, again, that today's show is sponsored by earthblendcoffee.global. You can use the link in the description box to place your order now. And this has been the show, the very first show. I'm very excited. I salute you. Again, today's show is sponsored by earthblendcoffee.global. You can use the link in the description box to place your order now. And any parents out there having problems with your children, 1-833-GPS-LOVE. Visionaries. Yeah, we on a visionary vibe. Cultivating purpose, solutions, and unity, while advancing and increasing your personal growth, development, energy, frequency. Yeah, it's a visionary vibe. You ever considered rites of passage, separation, transition, elevation, and purpose? Do you have a code of ethics, protocol, truth, love, respect? I salute you. Pull up at the house and get what you need. Open house vision. Are you a visionary?
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global.